Hello everyone and welcome to Hashtag Strategy. In today's module, we are in Module 8, Hashtag Strategy. We're going to be covering the hashtag audience targeting strategy and how to use the hashtag trend finder tool to identify consistent and trending hashtags that can really be high performers for your audiences. We're currently in the TikTok Ad Mastery Roadmap under TikTok Ad Targeting, and we are covering the TikTok hashtag targeting strategies. And we do have some TikTok challenge winners of the week. Scott here posted his first couple of videos and had a video do 1,000+ views, which is super cool. He started 11 days ago, he said, posting on TikTok organically. Pretty quick, achieved his first 1,000 viewed video, which is super awesome. Lots of congrats to Scott. And if he's staying consistent and is able to continue to make the changes with the actual text on the videos, making the clips really concise, Scott's going to be on his way to have his first 10,000 viewed video in no time. And we have some more TikTok challenge winners of the week, which is super exciting. Casey here said, using tips from Chase's class, we got over 400 new followers today and 70,000 views so far on one video. I love the class and I'm learning so much. And so that's super exciting because Casey joined the actual TikTok Ads Mastery course and started going through the class trainings. And after learning some of the tips and the modules that we've been covering on creative and style of videos to post, she made her post changes and got a video to do her first 70,000 views. But in fact, just a couple days later, that video has already achieved 161,000 views, which is absolutely awesome. And then just shortly after that, another video went up and got 88,000 views. So this is really amazing because this can end up turning into an actual snowball effect where her following went from 507 12 hours ago to, as of recently, 691 followers. And I'm sure it's climbing by the moment, and literally an extra 1,000 likes you can see here just in a day, and so many views, upwards of 250,000 total views, tons of comments and shares, which is super nice. And the more posts they do like this that are around their actual, product, the more attention it's going to bring to their page, the faster they're going to grow, and the more results they can end up achieving, and people are going to eventually start to take notice and actually start buying product. We have multiple clients who've sold out their actual stores with these TikTok organic strategies, and I hope that you're able to achieve the same by following the exact steps that we cover in this course training. So make sure to go back and watch those organic videos. It's super important that you follow them to a T because you can see incredible results like these and get to a point where you are consistently getting sales from your organic videos and growing your account significantly. So this is super exciting. And if you haven't entered into our TikTok Views Challenge, make sure to post your wins in this TikTok group that we have here. We want to celebrate your wins and share insights as to ways you can get better. And so let's go ahead and jump into the hashtag audience testing strategy. And this is for the TikTok ads specifically. So we've already covered in our previous module, we went over the 3x stacking method where we talked about having 3 different audiences. You use a mixed stack, a hashtag stack. We went over the broad targeting. We also went over, specific creator, actual interests you can target as well. And now, as you're running those audiences and you start to see, actual results and you want to end up doing some more testing, we highly recommend to use this hashtag audience testing strategy that is really effective with our clients. And how it works is essentially we go after one audience ad group that is going after broad hashtags. So let's say you're selling, jewelry, and we would be targeting a simple hashtag like jewelry. If you sell rings, or if you sell, earrings or necklaces or watches, you could target a very broad hashtag like jewelry. It's going to have a lot of people and a lot of different people interested, which can give the algorithm enough room to actually work with and identify people within the audience to go after to get you purchases. Another broad hashtag would be something like fashion. And then you create another ad group, and this ad group would then be your branded hashtags ad group. And essentially you're going after brands. And so you want to keep these buckets very similar because now we're going after branded hashtags, which is like, let's say the, Rolex, that's a brand. Cartier, that's a brand. Tiffany & Co., that is a brand. And you can target those hashtags via the ads and get a little bit more specific around people who specifically follow these brands or look at videos with these hashtags from those brands. And then you can even go after niche hashtags, which is getting a little bit more specific. Maybe it's 2 words now where you're actually, drilling down into a specific category of jewelry, in this case, diamond jewelry. And number 4, this would be your 4th ad group for testing. Once you want to ramp up testing, this is what you would end up doing. You'd be creating additional audiences like this for testing. And we'd be going after related interests like hashtag shopping, or hashtag fashion talk. Now, the thing is with this, you want to make sure that you're testing at least $20 daily per each audience. And you want to turn off the audience if it doesn't get any sales within 5 to 7 days. So that way you can make sure that you are actually, keeping your budget on track, and you want to make sure you are getting purchases. You don't want to run it forever. You want to start seeing results relatively soon within that week. So that way you know if you're on the right track or not, and you can identify which audiences are performing. And you're going to want to find consistent viewed and trending hashtags to target. This will allow you to target a growing audience and increase sales. And what I mean by that is essentially you want to have hashtags that are up on the rise, or you want to have hashtags that are very consistent in terms of view volume. And you might be wondering, well, how do I know if it's on the rise, or how can I find out a good hashtag to target? And that's exactly what we're going to be covering today. So what you're going to do is you're going to search industry, competitors, brands, and niche hashtags on TikTok, and you can actually see how many videos that have actually been created for those hashtags, how many views they have. And this would be a more specific branded hashtag. This branded hashtag would be a little bit more broad, 2.5 billion views. That's a lot of views for Rolex. So there could be a lot of random videos in there. It might be Rolex reviews. It might be people wearing a Rolex. It might be people just tagging Rolex because they have a luxury page, or people might actually just be tagging Rolex about how, there's a limited supply, different interest around that. And then you have Cartier, which has 649 million. So you can look at these audiences and identify which ones are going to make the most sense. If you get a really broad, hashtag, you don't need many hashtags to target because you're going to have such a large audience. But if you do a really specific hashtag, you're going to want to have, at least 10 to 20, so that way you can get a large enough audience around the 10 million plus mark, so that way you have enough people in that group to go after. Especially because hashtags are always changing. There might be one, video that went super viral with that hashtag, but all of those people, there's no more viral videos for the hashtag, so it's on the decrease. And so your audience size could actually shrink. Because you're targeting hashtags and they're based off the view volume and the amount of people viewing those videos, it's important to make sure that you find those rising hashtags and the ones that are actually, maintaining view volume. So that way your audience can actually handle that scale later on. And so you're going to want to research what videos are under each hashtags, like we were just talking about. You want to see the style of video that makes sense, because if you're selling, watches and the hashtag Rolex shows a bunch of watch videos, then that's probably a good thing, because that means that you're in the right spot. But if you're targeting Tiffany & Co. and there's not really any videos about jewelry, it's just like unboxing videos, and it's not really your audience because you're selling men's watches, well, you might not target that audience because it wouldn't really make sense. So you're going to want to create a TikTok ad group audience around specific hashtags that are in videos that your actual audience is watching. And so let's go ahead and cover how to use this TikTok hashtag trend finder tool. It's linked in this actual video below, so make sure to go to the description and click on this trend finder tool, so that way you can see exactly how we go through this process. Once you're on the tool, you're going to be able to explore popular TikTok hashtags by the industry. And this is a good way for you to actually find, hashtags that are going to be relevant to not only your industry, but it's going to speed up the process for you, because trying to think of all these hashtags in your head, it's really hard to come up with enough hashtags to target. And if you're really ramping up your targeting and want to get really precise on making sure you have the right types of hashtags to target and get really solid views and, actual sales from your ads that other people just can't achieve, then this is going to be the targeting strategy you want to use. So what you'll do is you'll choose the location at which you're going to be targeting. Ours is going to be United States, for instance. Then we'll choose the industry. And so if we're in the jewelry space, we might be under apparel and accessories. That would make the most sense. And then we can actually see what the trend levels are for the actual hashtags. And it looks like this one here, selected by TikTok as a featured hashtag on the discovery page in the last 30 days. So hashtag fashion talk. This could be an actual hashtag we target because it's not only trending, but it's on the discover page. So there's lots of people going into this audience. And if we click on it here, we can see that the popularity of this actual hashtag is on the rise. And then we've had a slight decline the last couple of days here, but we can actually go back and set this to a longer time period and see what is really taking off. We can see that this is actually very consistent over a longer period of time. We can see what style of videos are in here, what creators are creating what content. It looks like, it's very fashion related. So it might make sense if we're, if we're selling jewelry or if we're selling, clothing, well, fashion TikTok would be great for apparel. That would be awesome. This is a great, hashtag to potentially go after. And you can actually click this button and see what videos are here. You can see a lot of this is actually like trying on items, which is great. These, You know, they have accessories. They're actually doing tips for wearing. This is actually a very solid hashtag to go after because there's a lot of videos. There's a lot of views. It's on the uprise. There's, you know, plenty of engagements. That means you're going to have lots of interactions with your ads. You're going to have lots of people actually commenting. And if you create a style of video that's similar to these, where people are actually making the purchase, well, you're going to be able to get a lot of sales. And so then once you find one of these hashtags, you can actually use, like we were talking about earlier, the related hashtags to make this much simpler. So a related hashtag is fashion inspo. We could also target this specific audience. It looks like there's very similar videos in here too. And there's another niche down hashtag we could actually go after and start targeting, calling all fashionistas. There you go. We want to serve you some of your most trendy looks. So if you have a trendy product or a trendy look, this would be a perfect hashtag to go after. And this can even be great for your organic strategy and using these actual hashtags in your videos to reach an audience that you haven't yet reached before. This is a great way to get a lot of views, a great way to increase sales and actually get the awareness you need to be successful on TikTok. See, these are the types of things that are the difference between, you know, actually having success and knowing what to actually go after in terms of hashtags with your audiences and organic strategies. And so we can continue to go down this list and we can see that spring break is exploding here. But once spring is over, well, and we get into the summer days, spring break might not be the most relevant hashtag to really target. So it's not an audience we would really want to go after because it's not going to last very long. It's very a short lasted trend. We want to find consistent viewed videos. Look at this. This is haul. So clothing hauls, stuff like that, that would be a very consistent viewed hashtag. And that's good because that means that audience is always going to have a new flow of people coming in, which is very nice. If we have a hashtag that, you know, pops up and then drops off, then your audience eventually is going to be emptied out. And if you had sales today, doesn't mean you'll necessarily have sales tomorrow. So this is where we're going to find our actual hashtags. We can see Lululemon's in here, Western. We can actually find, you know, other brands. It looks like Lulu, hashtag Lulu and haul, and click on these different hashtags and see what creators make the most sense to go after. And so build your actual, you know, hashtag list, and what you're going to do is you're going to add those into your audience and you're going to start testing them with your targeting. And if you're seeing sales, definitely be willing to increase budget by an additional 20. If you're starting to see more sales, continue to raise your budget if you are seeing sales. That's a good thing. And if you aren't seeing sales and you're testing all these audiences, well, it might not be totally audience related. It might be creative related. And in fact, that's actually what we're going to be covering in our future modules. So definitely make sure to watch those when they are released. So once you've done some research, you can even search, you know, these hashtags specifically and actually enter them in and identify those hashtags that make the most sense to actually target. And make sure your time frame is set to a longer period so that way you can get the full picture and truly understand where these actual views are coming from, what style of videos. You don't want to just target any hashtag. You want to do a little bit of research. That way you can be as successful as possible with your actual audiences. And this gives you a lot of insights that other advertisers just don't realize. And so this can give you a definite advantage over them in terms of your targeting and media buying capabilities. So I hope you really enjoyed this specific strategy. This is the hashtag audience targeting strategy that we covered today. We went over the different audience targeting strategies you can use, the types of hashtag actual groups you're going to go after. When you're ready to ramp up testing and test more audiences at $20 each, you can test these different audience types, and you can use the hashtag trend finder tool to actually identify these. And that tool's by TikTok, and it is linked below this video, so that way you can access this and learn exactly what makes the most sense and find relevant hashtags in your actual niche and space for your brand to go after. And not only that, but even potentially use them for your organic strategies. There is a way to, you know, access this tool and actually find hashtags that make sense for you to use in your videos. So I hope you really did enjoy this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.